Good morning. Yes, as you've mentioned, unfortunately this problem isn't exclusive to Queensland, but certainly I would say our vacancy rates are tighter than the national average. In fact, what we're seeing is unprecedented in our state. We classify a healthy rental market as having a vacancy rate of between 2.6 to 3.5%. What we're seeing is in most areas of regional Queensland, it's below 0.5%.
Wow.
And across Queensland, it's below 1%. The average is below 1%. So that really tells you the story of about the critical undersupply we're facing in the rental market up here. We've never seen it at this level ever in the history of our state.
Yeah, it's clear that something does need to be done, and obviously the Queensland government is looking at other jurisdictions, for example, South Australia and Victoria, who already have these changes in place. Do you think that this will actually have an impact?
Look, I understand that the government is looking for solutions. That's what the community wants too. We all want the same thing. Our view is that this particular legislative reform doesn't really go to address the source of the problem, which is a supply issue. So we'd like to see the government more focused on that. We've already been through a raft of legislative reforms in the rental space. Those new laws were introduced late last year. We've got another round of rental reforms yet to come. We understand the need for regulation in the rental industry, of course. But again, what we would say is it's more important to focus on how we can increase supply rather than constantly defaulting to this type of regulatory or legislative intervention to fix the problem.
It's pretty simple as well, I reckon. And that is, look, I think the Queensland government trying to do something here is just the start of it. There'll need to be more done. But if someone who's got a house that they're renting out has a mortgage associated with that house, and the mortgage has gone up by X because of the banks and interest rates, then of course there's got to be an increase. But it's when these people start gouging that it becomes a real issue, and nothing can really be done about that. That's a real problem, isn't it?
Yeah, Carl, I think that's a really important point. There's been a lot of talk about gouging. Just to be very clear about that, we do already have laws here in Queensland. In fact, we have some of the strictest rental laws in the country. We do have provisions around how rental increases can be implemented. There's already some regulation around how frequently that can happen. And also it's important to note that we've also got an important statutory protection in there that allows a tenant, if they believe that rent is excessive, to actually make an application to QCAT to have that matter heard. So I think it's important to point those things out.
Yeah.
But of course, what we know is that tenants at the moment are doing it incredibly tough in Queensland, no doubt about it.
Yeah, well, Vera being one of them. Vera, what are you going to do?
Absolutely.
I've got no idea. I'm just hoping that something comes up.
Vera, thank you for being with us. We'll stay in touch with